feels weird to do a Disney video again, but I like it. I haven't thought about it in a while, and it's almost been an entire year since I left. Hey guys! If you're new here, my name is Marissa, and I did the Disney College Program Spring 2019. So that means I did it from January until May. It was January 22nd till May 15th, to be exact. I was an attractions cast member and I worked in Epcot, so Spaceship Earth was my home attraction, and then I also did park clearing at night. So this video is 10 things that I wish I knew before I did the Disney College Program. And the only videos that I've seen like this don't really give you the real facts. It's more of a romanticized type video where it's like, I didn't know that I would have the time of my life, or I didn't know that it would go by so fast, or I didn't know that I would make so many friends and remember it forever. Those are all true, but that is not what this video is going to be like. So if you want a more happy, lovey-dovey version of it, maybe you can watch another video, but this is just trying to be real with you guys, trying to tell you what you really need to know before you go. That is why I am giving you this advice, because I wish I knew these things. So I obviously didn't know everything before I went to Disney. I watched a ton of videos, a ton of vlogs. I wanted to prepare myself as much as possible because that's the kind of person I am. You learn a lot as you go, which is why I'm trying to share the things that I learned as I was doing it. And these things that I'm going to share with you are not anything about, like how much you make or, like the technical things. I've said a lot of those things in my other videos. So let's just get into my 10 things. These are not in any order in particular, it's just what I thought of first. So, number 1, your experience will be very different if you bring a car. So I know people who did both. I brought my car. A lot of my roommates did not have a car. So it was nice because if they needed to go somewhere, usually somebody would take them or we'd all go somewhere together. And that kind of worked out, but then you kind of end up relying on someone all the time. So I brought my car and it was the best decision ever. So I live in New York and my parents drove down with me in the car and then they flew home. So it was a nice little fun road trip. I don't know if everyone lives that close. It was maybe about 18 hours altogether. Like we split it between 2 days. But I was able to do that and make it like a fun trip. And that was really helpful because then I got to keep the car down there. And it was so nice to have a car because I drove myself to work every day. And before I went there, I was like, okay, maybe some days I'll actually save money on gas and just take the bus. No, if you have your car there, it's a 13-minute drive to Epcot, and that's where I was from my housing, which was Patterson. And why would I take the bus, which goes on a detour for about 30 minutes before it actually stops where I need to go, when I can just drive directly from my apartment to the parking lot where I work? It just saves you so much time, especially if you wake up late and all you have to do is jump in your car and go. You don't have to wait for anything. You can't miss the bus, and what if there's no Ubers at that time? So it really is just a blessing to have your car at all times for the working purposes. When you want to go to a park, or when you want to go explore downtown Orlando or another part of Florida, like we went to Daytona Beach because we had a car. You could go a lot of places. I went to kickboxing in downtown Orlando. I went to Orange Theory over in a different part of Orlando, Target, places that you couldn't go with just the buses, or places that you couldn't go without having to call an Uber. So you should really bring your car, in my opinion. If you are able to, bring your car. But on the other hand, if you're like, oh, I'm panicking because I don't have a car that I can bring, or I don't know, anything like that, don't worry. There are at least 50% of the people who do the program that don't have a car, because everyone comes from different countries. They're not bringing a car. If you're in the CEP, which is the Cultural Exchange Program, you're not going to bring your car from a different country, most likely. So do not worry. I'm just saying that it really does make your life a little bit easier, but obviously there are options if you don't bring your car. The buses were always on time from what I heard from my friends, and there really is Uber, and you can always ask a really nice friend for a ride and you'll be fine. I'm just saying your experience will be different. 2, don't judge your work location before you actually get used to it. So you will get your itinerary about a week before you leave. On that itinerary, it's going to tell you your park or your hotel that you're working at if you're doing one of those. Mine just said Epcot Center, and I knew that could be Nemo or Spaceship Earth. I wanted Nemo because I was a marine biology major. I had my hopes high. I was like, they totally saw that my major was marine biology. I'm going to be perfect in Nemo. And I went to my first day of training and I was put in Spaceship Earth. And it didn't have a personal meaning to me back then, like it does now, but I was honestly really disappointed, and I was like, there's no way I'm gonna like this, I'm gonna be so bored, I'm gonna hate it, the costumes are ugly. These thoughts were real, and I had them. Do not judge it until you start, because I swear, it doesn't matter where you're put, the experiences that you have there will just make it a fond place in your heart, hopefully. Maybe it won't be. I can't say that every work environment is great. It depends on if you get along with everybody and a lot of other factors, but really don't judge it and give yourself like 2 weeks. And if you don't feel comfortable there yet, or if you feel like totally miserable and like your days are just dragging on, maybe you can talk to somebody. But I'm just saying, try not to have too high of expectations before you actually give yourself some time, because it will get better. Number 3, don't have your family and friends visit too soon into the program. And that's for a lot of different reasons. Number 1 is that you need to just be adjusted first, and you're not going to get adjusted if you have your family or friends visiting, a week after you get there or 2 weeks after you get there, because you need to make friends. You need to get settled in your work environment, get used to your routine, spend a lot of time with your roommates, go do fun things in the park on your own without anybody from home. You need to have your Disney college experience. That's the first reason. And the second reason is that until you work 150 hours, you don't have access to your comp tickets. But even when you work 150 hours, you have to wait until those tickets go into your account, which could take up to 2 extra weeks. If you're planning on giving complimentary tickets to your family or friends who's visiting, try and wait at least until it's been 2 months since you've been there, because then you will definitely work 150 hours. Those tickets will be in your account. I guarantee you. But I had a really close call because Tony visited me on his spring break, so I got there January 22nd. He was coming on March 8th or something like that. And a couple days before he came, the tickets were not in my account, and I did not pay for any in advance, so I was freaking out thinking I was gonna have to pay for every ticket for him in the park. But luckily, it was just in time for me, and those tickets got into my account. So just plan ahead, make sure you get your 150 hours in as soon as possible, even if that might work you a little bit hard. It's gonna be worth it because then they will be there for when your family and friends do visit. Number 4, you will not need as many clothes as you think. My camera decided to stop recording for a second. I don't know why. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. What I was saying is, if you need reference on what to pack, I made this whole video of how I packed for the Disney College program, and this was before I left. I changed my other camera because it shut off again. I don't know what the problem is with that, but I'm on my vlog camera now. So I made this video right here about what I packed for the Disney College program, and that was before I left, so I really didn't know what I actually needed, and I was kind of just basing it off of what other people said. And something that I will change that I said in that video was that you needed to bring belts, but costuming provides you with belts, and you have to wear the ones they give you. You can't wear your own belt to work. So if you want to wear belts in your other clothes, sure, bring belts, but you don't need them for work. And also just in general, you really just don't need to pack that much because you will be wearing your costume almost every day. So don't worry about packing so many clothes. It's just going to be a hassle to take down there, especially if you're taking a plane. Pack light, because you will also buy things in the Disney stores, and you'll buy things in outlets that are really close by. Which brings me into my next point, which is number 4, money. Disney is very tempting. They have a lot of stores in the parks and in Disney Springs, and you're going to want to spend your money, your hard-earned money, your $10 an hour, on all of that merchandise. You're going to go into Maps Gear in Epcot, and you're going to want to get all the new things, all the sequin backpacks, all the new ears that come out, all the new colors that they have for that season. You don't need it. But if you want it, just budget, because it's hard to save that money when $125 is taken out of your rent. You're already losing a lot, and you're not getting paid a lot. Well, if you're anything like me, I really only wear my Disney merchandise when I'm either filming a video about Disney or at Disney. I don't usually wear Disney-inspired things in my normal life because it's just not in my wardrobe. It's just, I like to dress for the parks or whatever. So just think clearly if you're gonna spend your money on Disney parks, because you're gonna want to spend it on a lot of other experiences. So number 5 is something that you can spend your hard-earned money on, and that's Universal. So this is something that I did not get to do on my college program because I waited too long, and it just wasn't worth it in the end. So something I wish I knew was that if you want to go to Universal a lot, as well as Disney, buy your pass in the first week that you're there. You will earn that money back, and as a Florida resident, you do get a discount. So get your pass early, because then you can just go as many times as you want throughout the months that you're there, and it'll be 100% worth your money. Number 7, I think I'm on. Number 7 is don't put all your eggs in one basket. And I don't know if you ever heard this phrase, but you are gonna make a lot of different friends when you are there. You're gonna, hopefully, you will. I know you all will. You're all great people. So you're gonna have your roommates, which will hopefully become your friends, and you're gonna have your work friends, and then you're just gonna meet other people in other ways, in like housing events, and maybe somebody has like a bunch of people over, whatever. You're gonna meet people. You're in a place where a lot of people don't know each other, and you're gonna make a lot of friends. So what I wanna say is, this is not like high school, and don't get caught up in a group that only wants to hang out with each other. Spend a lot of time with everybody. Try to balance your time between your roommates and your work friends and your other friends that you meet other places. Because if you spend all your time with one group of friends, you're gonna miss out on some really cool memories with their other people. And you really have to try to balance that just so you can have the best experience possible. Number 8, if you are a clean person, you probably don't want a 6-person apartment. People get put in 6-person apartments even if they don't request it, and that's just how it works. I requested a 6-person apartment, and I was put in a 6-person apartment. I just didn't really know what living in a 6-person apartment was like. So I am a clean person, and with that many girls living in one small space with one fridge, it gets messy really quick. So if you think that that would drive you nuts, don't request to live in a 6-person apartment. You might meet like 5 girls on the Facebook page and be like, oh, I really want to room with all of them. You can be all their friends, but maybe don't room with all of them. Maybe only try and go for a 4-person apartment if that's really gonna drive you crazy. Because everyone comes in from work, things are everywhere, people have to cook themselves meals and run out the door, and it just gets really messy really quick. So either, if you get a 6-person apartment, set rules so that everybody knows like how you wanna clean and things, or just don't, because it's really messy. But you know, you make it work, because we did, and it was fine. Number 9 is that Disney is a very different experience when you're with your family than it is when you're there to work. Very different. And I kind of knew this, I expected it. I didn't expect to feel like a guest when I was working, but I feel like in the back of my mind, that's all I knew, so it's kind of what I expected. It's not. It's a job. It's a very low paying job. And that doesn't mean it's not great, because you get to be somewhere that you grew up in, probably, and just watch the people have the best time, if it's their first time or whatever. But it's different. So I hate to say this, but you're gonna meet a lot of full-time and part-time employees that don't like their job. They're doing it because of the benefits. That is the only reason why they're doing it. They're not trying to make people's days any better, and they're honestly just not really great people. And you will meet people like that, I'm sure you will. So just be prepared for work environments that just feel like people who are working to pay their bills, because the Florida residents will work at Disney for the benefits, and not because they have a great bubbly personality and want to make days magical. So just be prepared for that, and don't be shocked when you meet people like that, or if you find days where you're really not that excited to go to work, because it's gonna happen. And when your family and friends visit, you're gonna have that experience all over again. When you go with your friends that you made on the program to the parks, you're gonna have that feeling too. But when you're working in the parks, you're not gonna have that feeling. It's just gonna be a separate feeling from when you're a guest at Disney. Number 10, it won't ruin the magic if you work at Disney. I came here thinking that it probably would change it for me. And, you know, it definitely does change it for you, but I would never say that it ruined the magic. You're gonna see all the backstage areas. You're gonna see the underground tunnels. You're gonna see people who are friends with the characters. And, you know, you're an adult. You understand that this is how the magic is created. So it doesn't ruin the magic, you're just figuring out how the magic is made. You're learning the secrets. And depending on how you look at that, it doesn't have to be a negative thing at all. It's just pretty amazing, honestly, how Walt Disney came up with this and it turned into literally fairy tales for people's lives. And you're gonna learn all of that when you work there. So just try and keep that childlike fantasy when you're there, but also just accept all the knowledge you're getting about this insane company that is just taking over the world. So hopefully this video was actually helpful to you guys and you learned a few things and you go into your programs with a different mindset, because I wish I did. I might do another Q&A type video of questions I've never answered on my channel, but people have asked me directly on Instagram. And over here I'm gonna put in my check-in video, so that is everything that will prepare you for the day that you have to check in. Right here I'm going to put my what I really thought about the Disney College Program video, and in there I talk about salary, I talk about room situation, hours that I worked, how family can visit. See you next time. Bye!